Hi everyone, it's Neve here and welcome to my art journaling channel. Today we're going to be doing a quick art journal page using the Dylusions collage images. So here's a quick flick through of the collage images from Dylusions. It comes in there's two packages. They're 24 sheets in each, I think, and there's large images and small images. Now I'm working in my little use it up journal, and these little images are perfect for this sort of journal because I've already got a background. It's not a brilliant background, but I've got paint there and I can glue these collage images over and I've pretty much got a finished page. So the images I'm using are the reduced versions, which fit beautifully into this smaller journal. And they're a bit weird and wonderful, just like Diane Reevely's artwork. The images are taken out of her art journal, so the stuff that she's worked in and drawn over, which makes them, quirky and very her. One thing I do like doing with them is adding my own paint pens and markings over the top, for two reasons. One, because I can get them to kind of match what's happening in the background. So for example, I've got that fluoro green in the background, so I'm putting some fluoro green into her hair. The reason I chose this image was because it had a lot of orange in it, which works well with the green. And I've completely lost my train of thought, sorry. So yes, adding in your own mark making. The other reason I really like doing it is because it involves me in the image too. So it's not all Diane's artwork, it's got some of me in it as well. Even if it's just me dotting the stuff through the hair, I've done something to that image as well. But it certainly gives you a huge jumping off platform to begin with. I've got both sets because this is the type of collage I love. I love magazine collage, so it's something that really appeals to me. The good thing about the packages is it does have a really clear look at what's in the package on the back, so you can sort of decide which pack you like. But in each pack it's got lots of faces, lots of bodies, some bordery bits like I've got down the bottom here, some art shapes that you could use as body shapes, and a few different bits and pieces in there. So you've got lots and lots to choose from. And obviously you could combine this with your own magazine collages too. So you could, arms and legs are sometimes difficult to find, but faces are, plenty. So you could go and find your own face and add it to one of these bodies. One of the things I did do with this image was I changed the colours of the eyes because the eyes were red and it looked really freaky. So I actually changed them back to a green colour, and it made it look a little bit more realistic, which I'm pretty glad I did in the end. So one of the things I am doing on this page though is going to put some journaling in. And with pages like this, they just lend themselves to sort of journaling about what's been bugging you, or a lot of these images are pretty snarky, so they're great to put down the snarky comments you might have, or how you're feeling about the day or life in general. So to write on these pages, the trick is to draw out some wavy lines and to write touching the lines, so it's going to be wavy as well. This type of journaling, it can be readable, but because you're sort of writing in that block letter fashion, you're not worried too much about the spacing. If you get halfway through a word, you start in the next line. So it's a little bit harder to read than you think. And because all the lines are sort of touching each other, it adds this really great linear pattern effect in the background. So it looks like you've done a lot of pattern work, but in actual fact, you've just written out words. If you didn't want to do personalized journaling in this, you could certainly just write a quote over and over and over again that, sums up how you're feeling. Or it might just be some, your favorite quotes that you just want to have a record of in your art journal. I'm using a food ball pen to write this out, and you would have noticed at the beginning I made a bit of a boo-boo, and I just used a wet wipe to wipe it away. Which you can do with the food ball pen. It takes a little while to dry. Once it dries, it is permanent, but it gives you a little grace in if you make a mistake that you can wipe it away. One thing you do need to make sure of is though before you go to write something over it again, you make sure that area is nice and dry. So hit it with a heat tool or something just to make sure the area is dry. I'm also going over with the heat tool at the end just to make sure it's dry. While the food ball is permanent, it does take a little while, like I said before. I quite often put my hand in it. So you don't really want to smudge anything that you've just spent your time working on to write out. The final thing I'm doing is going in with a white pen. And I like to leave white and black to the very end just to help balance up the page and put in the extra details that I think the page might need just to balance it up. I'm then going to go in with some of the Dylusions Back Chat, I think they're called, stickers. These are Dye's version of the Tim Holtz Snarky Talk stickers. So they come in little strips like this, and they are written out as quotes, so you might find that you need to cut up 2 strips into pieces to write them in. And all I've done to finish it off is put a little bit of extra pink on the page to balance it off again, and to highlight my quote with the pink pen, so to give it a little bit of a border. And that's the finished page. It didn't take very long to do. I think it took about 30 minutes, less than that, I think, to do the whole page. You can see by adding the extra colour and paint pen over the top, you can really personalise the page to your colour scheme and how you really love to have things. And having those pre-made images just makes all the difference when you're working on a time schedule, or if you've only got a few minutes to do something. You can have a near finished page very, very quickly with not much effort at all. So I hope that helped you. Until next time, bye for now.